Hi, thank you for coming to my presentation. My name is Mr. Bruner, and this is the Parent-Teacher IEP presentation. To start, the student that we're going to be talking about today is named Jill, and she has been diagnosed with inattentive ADHD. Now, some strengths that I see from Jill include the fact that she has a great reading comprehension. She's able to understand and comprehend the text very easily when she's able to actually sit down and read the text. Another skill or strength that I see from Jill is her social skills. She's very able to communicate with her peers and with teachers. She's able to speak her mind and get across what she wants. Some of the weaknesses that I've seen, however, from the student, including being easily distracted and being having a difficulty with staying on task. Typically, the student will talk a lot to her peers or just generally seem inattentive or off focus or off task. Uh, some of the interests and hobbies of the student, however, include an interest in marine biology and science and interest in a career in marine biology or as a marine biologist. Moving on, just a quick overview of my classroom. It is a world history course for 10th graders, so Jill is a sophomore. Some of the goals that I have for my class personally is analysis skills, making sure that the students are able to read text and effectively pull the information that they need for whatever reason. Communication skills, making sure the students know how to effectively and respectfully talk and communicate to each other in order to solve differences or for research or to work together or whatever the means is. The last goal that I have for my class is working on those critical thinking skills, making sure that the students know exactly how to ask those hard-hitting questions and make sure that they are always applying higher order questions or higher order thinking to real life applicants. Now, the student progression and the concerns that I've seen within the student is that her grades have been slipping throughout the year, and her in-class behavior has been a major part of that, as well as her total absences. As you can see from the graph on the left, we have her total absences for quarter 1, 2, and 3. Quarter 1, we start with 4 absences. By quarter 2, we get to 10. And by quarter 3, we get to 18. That's a lot of absences for one student in one school year. 18 is a very high amount, and I think her grades reflect that. As we see in quarter 1, 2, and 3, I'm not entirely sure if my camera is blocking the graph, I'm sorry. But quarter 1, we see that she's sitting at about an 84, 83. At quarter 2, she's around an 80, maybe I think 79. And then at quarter 3, she's sitting at a 69. So her grade is currently a D right now. And I believe, again, that's a mix of those totals absences, those 18 absences, and the in-class behavior, being distracted, talking to peers, just generally being unable to focus on the work. Now, some IEP strategies that we could implement for the student would include auditory or physical objects, or auditory cues, I'm sorry, or physical objects. Doing something such as a bell or a whistle to get the class's attention, I think would help maintain that attention deficit that Jill seems to have. As well as doing popcorn reading, where like I have something such as a ball, where I have the students pass the ball around and they'll read a certain piece of the text. I think that would help with the comprehension and comprehension of the text as well as the attention for the student. The next part would be expanding the individual choices that the student has within the classroom. Uh, it says alternative worksheets in the sense that you could allow the students to choose how they go about assignments differently. Maybe they'll write an essay, they'll do a song, they'll write a dance, whatever the teacher comes up with, whatever I would come up with, for allowing the student to really get that independent thinking and their processes going. And I think that could be really useful for their career as well, having the student practice those independent thinking practices within the classroom. The last part of the IEP strategies would be Immersive Reader, which is a Microsoft program that allows you to read pieces of text very easily and allows you to have access to a plethora of tools such as subtitles, or not subtitles, I'm sorry, highlighting, read-alongs, line by lines, all sorts of tools that the student can use for reading and comprehending text. I think the student would aid greatly if they would be able to use this assistive technology in the classroom, as it would aid not only in the class but also in practice for the career, as they would like to do scientific journals and articles. As for the communication plan, my info is right there. We will be doing bi-monthly updates to the parents and progress reports quarterly to the parents to ensure that the parents know both behavioral and academically how the student's standing. As for future potential programs, we're thinking about doing organizational planning and work study, such as marine rescue or sea turtle rescue or marine biology programs that could aid the student in future career endeavors. Thank you all so much for attending the presentation. Have a great rest of your day.